Hey guys, today we're going to look at operations on functions. So just a quick reminder, when you see f of x, that's our function notation. So a little more notation. If we have f plus g of x, we can split that into the two separate functions and add f of x plus g of x. Likewise with subtraction, since subtraction is not commutative, we have to make sure we follow the order in this set of parentheses. So f minus g of x has to be split into f of x minus g of x. And then similarly for multiplication and division, we can split it up amongst the two functions. The only key thing with division is that our denominator can't be 0. So that g of x function can't be 0. Otherwise, we have an undefined function. Okay, we're going to just jump into examples. So I give you g of x being x plus 4 and h of x equaling x minus 2. And I want to know, what is g plus h of x? Well, that means I take g of x, which is x plus 4, and I add h of x, which is x minus 2. And now I just combine like terms. So x plus x gives me 2x, and then 4x minus 2, or excuse me, 4 minus 2 is 2. With g minus h of x, I go ahead and put our functions in parentheses, because when we go to subtract this second quantity, or this h of x function, we have to make sure we distribute that negative all the way through. So I did that in this next step. So this becomes a minus x and then a plus 2. My x's cancel off and I'm just left with a positive 6. I did show you that the difference between g minus h and h minus g, just a quick reminder that the order does matter when we subtract. So this time we distribute that minus sign over the x plus 4. And when we distribute, or when we combine like terms, we get a negative 6. Here's a few more functions. So this time we have a of x and b of x, so 3x plus 2 and x minus 5. Again, adding two functions, we get 4x minus 3. This time we can actually plug values in as opposed to keeping it as a variable. So what I did here was, anytime there was an x, I put our number 4 instead. So it's still a plus b, so this used to say 3x plus 2, but instead of that x, like I said, I substituted 4 in. Likewise, that x minus 5, that just becomes 4 minus 5. Then I follow order of operations, so 12 is 3 times 4, and then just left to right, we do our addition and subtraction, and we get down to 13 as our final answer. I'd like you guys to simplify a plus b of negative 3. Okay, and last couple examples. Here we have two new functions. This time this is multiplication. So we're going to multiply x plus 3 and x minus 6, and this is a foiling problem. So we need to do our firsts, our outsides, our insides, and our lasts. When we simplify that, we get x squared minus 3x minus 18. And finally, I would like you guys to find h divided by g of 7.